Welcome to PÖFF TV, the official channel for the 26th Black Nights Film Festival. Here for another session of Meet the Filmmakers. I am your host Andrei Liimets, and with me is Rain Rannu, the director of Child Machine, which will have its world premiere here at the Black Nights Film Festival. It is a science fiction family film which tells the tale of a young girl, a 9-year-old girl who gets lost in the bog and ends up in an underground secret bunker where an artificial intelligence is being developed. So welcome, Rain.
Hello.
You have a very interesting background for a filmmaker. You didn't really start out as a director. You're in Estonia, you're even more known as an investor, as an IT guy, so to speak. So what drew you into filmmaking?
Yes, I was an entrepreneur first, in 15 years of my professional life. And at some point when I was living in the US, in the West Coast, I got interested in movies, and I started to take movie courses in LA, and I kind of got the impression that this is what I want to do with the next 15 or 20 years of my professional life. So that was about 10 years ago, and here I am.
So sometimes when entrepreneurs go into filmmaking, they kind of turn to these vanity projects with lots of money. You, on the other hand, you've gone into this kind of indie filmmaking style. You have made 3 rather low-budget films. So why has that been your path?
Well, I'm a startup entrepreneur, and in startups, you usually are striving for doing things that you as a small company can do equally well as compared to competitors who are 100 times or 1,000 times bigger. So in my personal DNA, there's always been like the search for things that we can do, great movies that a lot of people enjoy, but at a fraction of a cost that maybe Hollywood studio would do the same film with.
Your first 2 films were both based, at least on parts, on your own life and on your background as an entrepreneur. This is a kind of change of turn for you in terms it's a science fiction, it's a family film. So why is this the story that you wanted to tell?
Well, I'm interested in telling the stories about the different subcultures or different worlds or different institutions that operate according to the principles that may not sound very logical to the outside viewer. So for instance, when I did my last film about startups, it's very hard for outsiders to understand how a company that was created 2 days ago can be worth €1 million or $1 million. But that's the internal logic of the startup world. So this film is about AI. And one of the key things that a lot of AI movies seem to get wrong or on purpose are doing differently is that they want to make the AI to be similar to humans, and they want to give human qualities to AI. The driving force for me to do this movie was that I wanted to create an AI that acts like a machine and not like a human. And that was like an experiment or challenge for me personally, whether I would be able to do it or not. So that's kind of like how this project got started.
And if I'm not mistaken, some of the special effects for this film were created with the help from artificial intelligence. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. Because especially in this year, we have seen a huge boom of what is called the generative AI. We have all seen those pictures that are created by a machine, and we applied some of these techniques and then we created something that would not have been possible to be made even half a year ago or 1 year ago, because the technology for that just didn't exist. So it's one of the first movies in the world to actually employ the generative AI technologies in a way that actually for this movie makes a lot of sense.
Your first 2 films have been comedies with quite a bit of even raunchy humor. So this is more of a family-friendly film. Why did you want to tell this tale through the eyes of a 9-year-old girl?
I wanted to make an AI movie that's accessible to everybody, because you could make a very technical or technological movie, but that was not my goal. But I wanted to make it in such a way that there's an easy access point to every viewer to this world. And then, of course, I didn't set out to make a pure children's movie. So the core of this movie are some AI concepts and philosophies that are actually more aimed to the parents. But the challenge for me was to try to combine it into one movie that the parents and the kids together could watch, and both of them could hopefully find interesting.
You've made your first 2 films with Estonian actors and even amateur actors. Here you have Juhan Nurb as one of the leads in this film. Juhan Nurb, of course, is probably the man who has gone the furthest in the world cinema from Estonia. He's been in Hollywood, major productions. Why did you want to work with him?
It's the second time I'm actually working with Juhan. So he was also doing a smaller role in my previous film, Chasing Unicorns. And I think Juhan is a really great actor. He's really, really amazing. And I wanted to give him a role that is maybe a little bit different from a lot of this usual stuff that he has been doing. But also, on the other hand, he would build his character or his what he is as a actor. So Juhan is a super flexible actor, and I was really excited to put him in a role that maybe is not what he has mostly done.
You also work as a producer. You have invested in quite a few Estonian films that have come out recently or are coming out in the next few years. So what are the trends or changes you are seeing in world cinema on a broader level and in Estonian production more specifically?
Well, definitely there are a lot of trends, but what we are mostly excited about is the fact that the movies have become, I would say, more diverse in a way, that there are so many different ways you can make a movie and so many different stories that you can tell. And some of those stories are really expensive and need a lot of money, but a lot of stories actually can be told with any amount of budget. So we are very excited to work with younger and up-and-coming filmmakers with whom we will make their first, second and third film. And we're excited to see a lot of those voices coming out of Estonia and other countries. So I think that's really a big part, is that it's probably a lot easier to make an independent film today than it was 10 or 20 or 30 years ago.
And Child Machine is only now getting its world premiere, but it was shot, I think, 2 years ago during the lockdown. So what's next for you? Have you already moved on to next projects, and what does the future hold for you as a filmmaker?
I will definitely continue making films, and we have already shot my next project. It's called Free Money. It's again a drama comedy in the vein of Chasing Unicorns and some of my previous films. And it will take place in the world of money, investments and crypto specifically.
So you're exploring the subjects you know from your work as an investor, and you're looking to sort of continue exploring the same subjects.
Yes, this is again one of those worlds that has some really crazy internal logic, how it works, and I'm very excited to dig into it and try to make that world maybe a little bit more accessible to the moviegoers.
And are you looking to return to AI and the genre of sci-fi?
Could be. I mean, absolutely. And even the sci-fi in this movie, I mean, hopefully not in this movie, but in a lot of the sci-fi that starts out as a sci-fi will be a real technology a few years later. So again, there's a very thin line, but absolutely technology is one of the subjects that I'm most interested in as a filmmaker, and I will continue to make movies about it.
So thank you very much, Rain. All the best with this film. As mentioned before, Child Machine will have its world premiere here at the Black Nights Film Festival, so do definitely check it out. And see you again here at PÖFF TV at the Meet the Filmmakers sessions. Thank you for watching.